Hello everyone, it's MJ again. And um where do we leave off yesterday? Um I was kind of getting permission from people to be able to leave. However, I found out that my ex-husband was moving my daughter, that they moved to San Diego. And I just lost it. I was crying my face off, and because I guess somewhere in my mind I thought, maybe I could get on my feet, even though my life was, really a mess at that point. But um, I just really lost it. So anyway, it wasn't all hunky dory. I went on a ride with this guy, and there was people at their houses that would put things in the mailbox or not, and if they put it in the mailbox, that was a yes, I could go. If not, no. But I passed that. And what else? Um, since they had moved, the one of the girls in the group told me to come and see this. So I went with her and I saw it, and it was my bed, my maple wood bed, sleigh bed. And I just fell to the ground crying. I realized it was over and what was going on, and I cried. And then the next day they took me into the Salvation Army, and all my stuff was there. My camel coat, my what is it called? My Armani jeans, my Joe jeans, my whatever. It was just everything that I had, and my wedding dress up on the wall. And that hurt so bad. I can't even tell you. Anyway, and then in the cafeteria the next day, the girls came over and was putting salt in my hand. I didn't get it at first, but then I realized, oh, they're putting salt in the wound. Okay. So anyway, I cried and I cried, and I went to the one guy that was very specially trained, that had that language all on his own, and talked to other people in his pets and stuff in a language that I've never heard before. And I said, you didn't tell me, like, you did not tell me. And I was so mad at him, and he was just like, what? I can't, there's things, I can't, it's not me. And so anyway, I walked up, even with the PFA, I walked up to my old house, and I knocked on the door, and some guy answered it that I didn't know. And so I walked away, and then something told me to go into the main office. I don't know if I had to go to the bathroom or I don't know, but I walked into the office, and my oldest son, was working there. And I was like, like I wanted to fall to the floor. And I just asked him, can I use the bathroom? And he said, yeah, it's right here. And are you okay, Mom? And I said, yeah. And I said, so everybody moved? And he said, yeah. And I think I asked him what he was doing. He said he was moving. And and that was it. Like, you know, he was nervous about me being there because his stepmother is the one that got him the job. And it was a good job. And like now he works at a really nice management company that's like very high rent exclusive. He has free rent and he gets paid, and he just got engaged and got a vasectomy. But anyway, I realized at that point, like, that's why he wasn't answering my calls. But there's more than that. So at that point, I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to die. There was nothing left to live for. And I wrote this whole like manifesto and was just like, I'm gonna die, and I was just throwing it all over the streets. But in the meantime, when I did get released, I got a bus. I asked the bus driver if I could get a ride to the airport, and he let me. So I got to the airport, and I was going into where the employees went, because remember I told you I used to go into systems. I don't know how I did it, because I can't do it today, but then I had just this super like intelligence and strength. Like I would like climb up on the roof of a building and sleep so nobody could find me. And I was able to break into systems that weren't they weren't, you know, supposed to be broken into. And so I got to the airport and I went into the employees area, and I immediately started to get on the computer to print myself a ticket. And I was just right there, and they stopped me. And then there was a computer next to it, and I started that, and they had already stopped me already. So I mean, this is like everybody was watching me. And I don't know where this was, if it was before the airport or not, but I also went to like a little airport where people keep their own planes, and I asked a guy that had his family, can I get a ride to San Diego? And he said, yeah. And then he went inside and he came back and he said no. So whoever he talked to was already aware that I was there. And then the guy left for the night, and I got into the building, and I figured out what plane was out there, and I got the training manual, and I figured out how to get it up in the air, but I wasn't sure on the landing. I wasn't sure on being like there. I didn't know how to communicate with like a tower or anything, and I didn't know how to land it. So that's what kept me from that. And so anyway, I'm at the airport, and I couldn't get a ticket printed, and I asked an employee if I could use her phone. And at this point, I didn't even care that my ex-husband had a PFA on me. I was like, I need help. Like, he can't just like not care. Which I've tried to call him like many times, and he never answered, and my other son. But Anyway, I called, didn't answer, called my son, my oldest son, wouldn't answer. And of course, it was a number they didn't know. I called my mother, no answer. Called my sister, no answer. And the lady needed her phone back. So I just gave it to her, and I realized like that this is not going to happen tonight. So I I was coming out of the airport, and there was an airport van, and I asked him if I could have a ride, and he said yeah. And the craziest part is he knew me. Like that's it. Like all these people and all these, nothing was a coincidence. Everything was synchronicity. Like everyone knew me, but and I never said anything because I didn't want to acknowledge it, but it was everywhere. So we were talking, and I was like falling asleep because I was so tired because I had left where I was and I hadn't been sleeping, and no drugs or anything. So I was like so tired, and he said, "Why don't you come with me to," and it was like a Russian, I guess he was part of a Russian family. And I said, "No, I don't go indoors. Sorry, but thank you." And he's like, "Well, where would you like to go?" And I said, I don't know, just drop me off at, and I saw a hotel off the highway. So I said, just drop me off at that hotel. And he's like, "Are you sure? Like, you really need some sleep?" And I'm like, "No, I don't trust anyone." So I went into that hotel, and I hacked their system. And, well, let me go back. I was going through the hotel, and I saw some bags that was for a conference, and the name on there was very familiar. So I was like, I backed up. I was like, whoa, what is going on? And so I hacked into the system to see who the conference was, and it was what I thought. And so I tried to get a hotel room and a key, but I didn't have like the key to run it through. So I just went and slept on pillows somewhere, and then somebody came and, told me I had to go. So I went to this post office and I slept there, and then people were coming in and putting mail in and just looking at me like I was a complete disgust. But anyway, I'm going to stop there for today, because it gets really bad, and that'll be another day. Thanks. Love you. Love and light.